What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Flamezero78 and today we are talking about Spellbreak. Spellbreak just launched the prologue update, the Gathering Storm, its first big update since launch, and we're going to break down just the biggest kind of overall view of it and breaking down more specifically Clash, the new Team Deathmatch mode that just released with this update, which I think is one of the best additions to the game on top of everything else that they have. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. And first thing we're going to talk about is the overview of what this patch brings, so that way you understand what to expect when you log into Spellbreak for the first time, or maybe a returning player. So let's get to it. So the prologue, Gathering Storm is really kind of their test in a battle pass system. Think of it as like season 0.5 for, Apex terminologies if you think about battle pass, stuff like that. Their battle pass is called chapters, and what's really interesting is just the way it just adds to what already this game provides in terms of progression. Just a brief recap, Spellbreak allows you to progression in your mage rank, which unlocks rewards every step of the way, and class rank, which you can get up to level 20 per class, and there are 5 classes, so variety of different progression tracks and specific rewards tailored to different types of players, which is all really good. With this new introduction of the battle pass, that is completely free by the way, since it's a test run, you get more objectives, more ways to play, kind of tailoring you to play a certain way. This week was all about the Pyromancer, getting you used to some of the skills and maybe understand some of the synergies that you can do with the fire class, which is really cool and exciting, and expect that to happen with a couple of weeks, as this, prologue progresses, right? You also get a sprinkling of lore, so if you're trying to get interested into what the Spellbreak story is, it opens up with that too, and I think that's pretty neat. On top of that, they're doing a rework of a couple of different things in the Battle Royale mode, specifically how potions and the updates to the talent tree system. So I'm just going to go over them. I haven't had much time since it's released to play those changes, so I would rather make an in-depth video. So here's my plug-in to subscribe, so if you guys want to understand, watch my journey in understanding these mechanics, make sure to hit that subscribe button. But the couple of things that they did tweak about potions is they gave us more potions, which is really good in terms of adding a little bit of variety in terms of inventory management. When Spellbreak first released, you only had 2 types of potions. One is to get you health, one to get you shields. Now they kind of tweaked that. Well, there are 3 of those types, small, medium, and large, giving you a variety of different health. So it's kind of neat to have those options. But another thing that they've added is they added a potion that gets you both. Before, you always had to have one of each to really make sure you are always at full health. Now you have one that gets you both, and it comes in both small and large variety, which is really cool. So in terms of keeping yourself alive, I think this adds a nice fresh balance and variety to what you need to hold as a player in terms of health. The other potion that they added is a knowledge kind of offensive type potion, one that specifically affects the way you fight and engage in Spellbreak, which is really huge, right? It may give the advantage to a really good player, and it might actually even the playing fields for a lower skilled player, and that potion allows you to get additional charges to your runes and to both of your sorceries, which is huge because it allows you to spam spells or strategically last longer in fights because you have those in your back pocket. One of the things that you have to pay attention in fights is those cooldowns, right? So being able to have more charges of those is going to be very interesting, and I'm going to be very, very excited to see how that actually affects gameplay and how that plays out. But like I said, a more in-depth video of that will be coming in later. But just so you guys know, when you're logging in, I just wanted to give you guys a heads up to look out for. They also updated some talents. They reworked a couple of the costs for certain talents. They added 3 new talents, which is pretty exciting in terms of what they can do and what they offer in terms of builds. So if you're like a player that really enjoys figuring out having different type of like classes, or as I call them from Call of Duty, but they're builds, to change the way you play, I think this is going to be really cool for those players as well. But again, we'll dive into that in a later video. And then lastly, this update brings a brand new mode, which honestly is such a great addition to this game. It's really nice to have a team deathmatch mode in Battle Royale specifically, but more importantly for this game for a couple of different reasons. But let's start with just a generic why it's good to have a team deathmatch mode in a Battle Royale game such as Spellbreak. And that is allows players to kind of just get a feel for what the combat is, right? The combat in Spellbreak specifically is very chaotic. There's a lot of moving parts, and there are a couple of things you need to know that the tutorial does cover, but you're not gonna really put into practice unless you're playing over and over again. And sometimes, depending on the type of player you are and the type of gamer you are, that time varies. Team Deathmatch is so crucial for kind of making up for not being able to play consistently, right? Because you get those fights, you get those chances to work on your craft over and over in a short period of time, versus traditionally in a Battle Royale, you get that experience just by keep dropping into different matches. So that's just one aspect that helps on a generic level of Battle Royale, and also a little bit of Spellbreak. The other part of it is, if you really think about it, this really allows you to focus on your gameplay loop in the Battle Royale mode, because the Clash mode can really allow you to focus on two different aspects of the matches that you will see and encounter in Battle Royale, which is one, those 1v1 matches if you're soloing or squatting. Those one matches where those first encounters where you're kind of just trying to get those kills. You get to practice on that, but then also you get to practice end game fights where a bunch of teams are together and spells are flying all over the place, and it kind of gets a little crazy. So I think with Clash, meshing those two together in a timely fashion, in a concentrated time, allows you to really get a handle on what to expect in Battle Royale. So let's break that down even further, right? I consider Clash those two phases. Phase 1 alludes to that, what I was talking about, your looting phase and your first kind of encounter phase, where it's not pretty crazy, and if you survive your fights, you're going to be well off, get your loot and move on. That's what phase 1 is about, and I think that's what you guys need to understand. When you drop into a Clash match, every team, the teams have 9v9, get their own halves of the map, and their portals don't overlap. So if you want to take the time and land passively, get your stuff, you're more than welcome to do so. But if you want to get that Battle Royale experience, I recommend landing behind enemy lines and leave it that way. That way you can get the experience of battling a couple of fights, at first, before things get really chaotic. Another thing to note in the Clash mode is heals are pretty limited. You only get 2 small potions, and that's about it, but you spawn with those every time you die, so don't worry about looting that, and don't worry about looting anything else for that matter. Just focus on getting your gauntlets and focus on getting your runes, and then you'll be straight. Wow, sorry, going all over the place, I know. And then secondly, for the second phase, there are a couple things that you should focus on as well, which is, those endgame fights where a bunch of spells are flying at you, a bunch of teams are all over the place, and you need to figure out, who do I need to attack, who do I need to defend from, where should I move to, do I have the right rune, right? Experiment. If you're using teleportation, is that really the best rune for you to get out of those engagements? Do you not like how it works? Switch it out, swap it out for something else, right? The trial and error nature of the team deathmatch really lends it well to that learning experience. But like I said, with all these different teams at each other, all willy-nilly, practice that, because that's how the Battle Royale matches really are going to be. Bunch of teams together, and you're not really going to know how to focus that. And for me, one of the things that I've seen that I was trying to practice on is learning how to anticipate people's movements, learning how, people using invisibility will tend to rotate, like all these key things that you really don't get to do in a Battle Royale match, because you only get that one time, and if you mess up and die, that's it. But here, you'll just spawn back, which is really cool. So yeah, end game phase 2, really important, and then after a couple of matches like that, I think you're going to have a much better experience going into the battle royale mode, whether it be solos, duos, or as a squad of trios, right? I think it's going to be beneficial, and I think it's really nice that this game added a team deathmatch, and I kind of wish more battle royales with more intricate systems besides just shooting should really implement in their games. Now, with that being said, this update is really, shines a good light and beacon of hope for this game in terms of future content, in terms of the longevity of the game, because it gives players lots of reasons to come back and play the game. Like I mentioned, their battle pass at this moment is free, but if it works well enough, no one's gonna feel bad dropping $10 or for the battle pass to get those sweet rewards that you play the game to do. And importantly, with the new modes, allows different players of all skill levels to get warmed up or to master the things that they want to master in game, which I think is really crucial in a battle royale, especially in a game like this where magic and synergy plays a key part. Experimentation is really nice, so I really do like that as well. But I think that's where I'm going to cut off today's video. I hope you guys understand what to expect with Clash, understand basically the beginnings of the battle pass system for Spellbreak. So hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to hit that like button, make sure to share with your friends, and make sure to subscribe, because I am going to be covering this game throughout the weeks in my weekly videos, which I release videos, by the way, Wednesday and Friday 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So just so you guys are aware, and if you want to catch me live experimenting with this game, I stream on Twitch Monday through Thursday, Flamezero78. I hope to catch you guys there. Really do appreciate it, and I hope to catch you guys real soon in the HoloLands. Thank you guys so much. Take care. Adios.